Alright. Just making sure everything looks good for everyone. You know me, I like to check the audio just in case. Because have been moments in the past when my audio has not been good. And the audio is good. So, let me just minimize all of this and put everything in the correct channels. Yo, I don't even have my face. See how quickly I was about to mess that up. Got myself a nice haircut. I forgot to shave this off. I'm gonna shave this off once I'm done with all my live streams and everything because I don't want it to get too scraggly. I don't know if that's a word, but I don't want it to get too scraggly. But yo, peoples, Kyushu92 here to bring you another reaction to a chapter of One Piece. We are at chapter 1009, about to hit the tens of the thousand chapters. We're about to hit the tens now, just one more. So, last we left off, it was a lot going on. Mainly, Kanjiro is still running around. Orochi's still running around. We finally see Kaido in his hybrid Zoan form. So now we get to see what happens next. Hopefully the predictions and theories that I had posted actually come to pass, such as we need to deal with the Toby Roppo and all the, everyone else that's in the way of centering on Kaido and the rest on centering on Kaido and Big Mom right now. We need to resolve all the Straw Hats fighting their respective Toby Roppos before we get to the final battle with Big Mom and Kaido. So, and I'm just waiting for this chapter to pop up because it is supposed to be popping up right now. Excuse me, Viz, I know you're supposed to be up right now. I'm going to check on Manga Plus because they tend to do right by me. I don't know about you, but Manga Plus sometimes they be having the chapters up before I can even get Viz to show the chapters. I mean, chapter 1009, it's supposed to be out today, right? It's supposed to be out today. I mean, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel. There it is. There it is. Manga Plus has it up right now. So we gonna be reading from them today. Alright, so we have a full cover page right here. I am not going to be reading in that accent this whole time. I got it full screened because I don't want anybody to be too overzealous and just speak ahead of me before I even get to that page. So, we got a full cover page of all the Straw Hats just chilling in the ice. Inspired by a reader request, Otama and Komachiyo putting Amigasa woven hats on Jizo statues of the Straw Hat crew on a rainy day by Honey Liquor. And this kind of reminds me. Sorry, notifications on my phone. This reminds me of how, with them making straw hats, it reminds me of how Ace went out of his way to make a straw hat for Oars Jr. And here we have Tama taking the straw hat of Luffy and putting it on one of the statues, while the rest of the straw hats are doing the same thing. Everyone's in their own little winter gear. It's nice. Alright, let's keep going with these. Let's keep going with this. Chapter 1009. Naraku. Within the castle. Put out the flames! Douse the fire! We need water now! And because Orochi, along with Fukuro Kuju, were just running through Onigashima, just setting fire to everything. And it's crazy because, it's not really crazy. It's more so, well, Orochi's back. But none of us really care, he's technically supposed to be one of the big antagonists of this entire arc, but after getting his head cut off by Kaido and Kaido literally doing everything else afterwards, he's literally not that big of a deal anymore. I know that's just me, but reading on, the whole place is set on fire. Oh, wow, and the confrontation is here! The confrontation is here! Who is the first people that Kinemon and the rest of the Akazaya run into while they're setting the castle on fire? But Orochi and Ufukuro Kuju. And Orochi doesn't have any of his devil fruit users to protect him anymore. He doesn't have the body no user to protect him. He's face to face with Kinemon and the rest of the crew. Is this the moment where he dies? I'm not going to be preemptive here. I'm not going to say anything until we see what this whole chapter offers. But here we have Kinemon saying Orochi, and then Orochi saying Kinemon, and then Fukuro Kuju says Shogun Orochi. They aren't aware that you have already died once. And then he says, flee from here, my lord. I will stop them. Then Orochi says, silence, fool! I'll be surrounded by enemies on all sides if I go back into the castle. Besides, I can see Kaido's already softened them up. And then Orochi says, you know, the ugly kind of laugh. So tell me, all you Kozuki leftovers, did I catch you by surprise with Kanjuro? You got me too, Kiyoshiro. But let us overlook all those past treacheries. And he starts to transform into his Orochi form. I have nothing to fear from you now in your wounded state. I will devour every last one of you. After 20 years of trembling at your ghosts, you will feel my wrath. And as he says this, Kinemon unsheaths his sword and all the Akazaya just behead. Yeah! Yeah, man! I like it! I love it! Before this man can even revel in his monologuing, this man obviously has not seen Incredibles. Every villain with half a brain needs to watch The Incredibles to understand that it is never good to monologue. Because before he's even done monologuing, Kinemon and all the rest of the Akazaya unsheath their swords, and they cut off all of Orochi's heads while he's in his Zoan form. Just all the heads cut off in an instant. Like, you see how insignificant Orochi is right now? No one is intimidated by him. And they just cut off all of his heads and then just keep going. Let me see how many heads there are. Let me count. Because if my hypothesis of every time he gets beheaded in his human form, he loses a head in his Yamata no Orochi form, I need to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to count all the heads. I don't know. But let me keep going. But before Orochi can even get the rest of his monologue out, all the Akazaya just cut all of his heads off. And they just walk past him like he ain't nothing. Then Fukuro Kuju is surprised by this, saying, Shogun Orochi! And then Kinemon says, we have no time to waste on the likes of you, Orochi. Your judgment will be served to you in hell. I told you! Wow, what was that? Orochi is no longer a definitive factor at any point in this war anymore. He was like, I'm gonna devour every last one of you. She's so, and literally gets all of his heads chopped off. And then, as they're walking away, Raizo turns around and looks at Fukuro Kuju and says, will you avenge him? I must say, Fukuro Kuju, my opinion of you has risen. You've remained loyal to that fool to the very end. And then Fukuro Kuju says, I would say the same to you. But even before matters of revenge, we were always fated to fight, you and I. Weren't we, Raizo? Oh, so are the Akazaya actually... Are the Akazaya 9 actually kind of splintering off a little bit here? Because Inuarashi stayed behind to take on Jack. And now we got Raizo staying behind to fight Fukuro Kuju. Ninja versus ninja. Okay. I feel like Fukuro Kuju's at a bit of a disadvantage with that big old long head of his. There's a lot more surface area to, embed some shurikens into. I don't know. I just feel like the bigger your head is, the bigger the target. Regardless if you're a ninja, that's an elongated piece of meat right there. I don't know. But here at the Skull Dome on the rooftop, we have Big Mom saying, let's give him a big one, Kaido. How many of the 5 do you think will survive? Mama! And then we have, I think this is Kid speaking, saying, Trafalgar, can you use your powers to send one of them below? And then Law says, I would have done that already if I could. Their hockey is so strong it's impossible to move them. I'm sorry? Your hockey can be so strong that it can actually keep you from being moved by Law's Ope Ope no Mi? Hockey can actually make... Well, hockey can in fact make it so that you can harm people with devil fruit powers that normally can't be harmed normally. So does that also apply that hockey can make it so that time-space type devil fruit powers like Law's, if your hockey is strong, you cannot be, like shambled out by his powers? Sorry, something is on the edge of my eye. Why is something always on my eye when I'm reading chapters to you guys? Always. It's always a big distraction. Okay, I'm good now. But Law says their hockey is so strong it's impossible to move them. And then so hockey can be so strong that it can actually make it so that you cannot be displaced by time, space, devil fruits like Law's. Interesting. That's interesting. Kid says, in that case, time to disassemble. And then Luffy says, hey, here comes something big. And then both Big Mom and Kaido are standing next to each other and they're winding up with their weapons. And Kaido says, I trust your core hasn't gone weak with age, old woman. And then Big Mom says, who do you think you're sassing, boy? And they're both winding up for an attack. And then Zoro says, uh-oh, this one's bad. And both Kaido and Big Mom wind up. And then Killer says, there's no way to avoid it. Conquest of the Sea. Wow. Okay, so Big Mom and Kaido combined their attacks. So you know how Big Mom has Ikoku sovereignty. Ikok! And Kaido has like his Raime Hake. I don't know if it's a combination of those two, but with their strength, my God, they literally combined their swings into one massive blast. They combined their swings into one massive blast. So think of Big Mom and Kaido swing, and it's both combined together to make one massive explosion with enough force to shake Onigashima a little bit. But it hits something, and then both Big Mom and Kaido says, huh? And Zoro, Zoro is taking it. Zoro literally jumps up in front of the hit and is taking it. Move, all of you. Zoro, or we're all done for. And it's just a massive explosion. And Zoro's right there in front of the both of them, taking the hit. And then it just shows black. You just picture an explosion happening, and all the color out of the scene is disappearing as the light goes in front of all of the supernovas. And then there's a massive explosion that literally shoots out from Onigashima and even blasting a portion of it off. A nuke just went off. Literally, a concussive nuke just went off from the Skull Dome, and it just exploded off of Onigashima. And as the dust settles, as the dust settles, Kaido says, their voices haven't gone out. And Big Mom says, they got away, eh? Very impressive. And then Zoro's just laying there. He is just shaking, and he's just like recovering from this. Everyone else is fine though. Then Law says, Zoro, are you still alive? And Zoro says, I think so. Then Kid says, it's a real feat you blocked that. If only for a second. Thanks, man. And then Killer says, "Where's Straw Hat?" And we see Luffy literally already in Kaido's face with a Gum Gum Punch, which looks like either Red Hawk. It looks like he says red and his fist is on fire. He's directly in front of Kaido. And he tries to punch towards Kaido, and Kaido dodges it. And Luffy says, "Red," and he has got a big, massive cheese on his face, like, "Haha, got you." What did he do? "Red?" Hee. And then Luffy says, "Did you dodge that one, Kaido? Because it was gonna hurt, huh?" And Luffy is still in the air. And Kaido comes down with his Kanabo as Luffy hockeys up with his arms, as Kaido literally just smacks him away. And apparently, blocking with haki did not help alleviate the pain, because you know how Luffy was fighting Katakuri, and Katakuri was using his block mochi, and he used haki on that, and Luffy was using his own haki, but Katakuri using his block mochi hurt Luffy using haki. Yeah, the same thing happened with Luffy here. Even with Luffy hockeying up, he still feels the pain in his hands from that attack from Kaido, which just goes to show what I told you guys. Kaido in his hybrid form is stronger than his human form. And then Kaido is already bearing down on Luffy, and he opens his mouth and he shoots out a laser. He shoots out a beam. Can he use Bolo Breaths in his hybrid form just as normally as he can here? I mean, it shouldn't be a surprise. But he uses Bolo Breaths. And he shoots at Luffy, and he dodges. And then Kaido jumps into the air. Luffy dodges, and he lands on the ground, and then Kaido jumps into the air, and he starts spinning his Kanabo around, and then he says, "Conqueror of 3 worlds." Yo, we got a brand new Kanabo attack from Kaido other than Raime Hake. Conqueror of 3 worlds. And then he comes down on Luffy with a brand new attack called Ragnarok. Ragnarok. Yo! Yo! Kaido! How could you know Kaido? Yo! Ragnarok! Conqueror of 3 worlds, Ragnarok! And comes down on Luffy, full force! And then Zoro's just looking on, and then it shows Kid apparently making a square block of metal of some kind. And Zoro's all like, "Luffy!" But Kid makes like a block made out of metal. And Big Mom notices it. He's all like, "Huh?" And then Killer says, "It's all ready." And then Law goes, "Room." And then Shambles. And then Zeus says, "What do you think they're doing?" And then he's gone. He's gone. Zeus is gone. Zeus got shambled out. Where am I? It's all dark. Oh, snap. Law just shambled Zeus into that square metal block. And then we have Killer saying, "Can you manage Roronoa?" And then Zoro says, "I'd better," and cuts straight through Prometheus. While Killer cuts away Napoleon from Big Mom's hands. So Zoro got Prometheus, Killer got Napoleon. And then Big Mom falls to the ground. She lost her footing and she falls to the ground. And Zoro continues to slice into Prometheus. And then Zoro says, "You're not getting any time to revert." Flame Ren, crossing the 6 paths, and just continuously cuts into Prometheus so he can't reform himself. And then we have Killer going after Napoleon as he's jumping away saying, "Ah, no, stop, I'm just a sword!" And Napoleon is running away from Killer. And then Big Mom says, "Come back to me!" And then it shows all of them. It shows all of her personal homies, Prometheus, Zeus, and Napoleon saying, "Mama, help us!" And then Killer is right here in front of Big Mom's, and he says, "Punk, pistols!" And then he shoots out harpoons, metal harpoons from, I guess, his own makeshift gun that he made with his powers. And then Big Mom is just standing there as they just bounce off of her. Just like, ting, 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 ting.
What's this? You think if you pry them away from me that you actually have a chance of beating me?
And as she says that, she is already on Kid and punches him square in the face into the ground. Now, mind you, this is Big Mom. So, yeah, this hurts. I don't think he used any of his powers to shield himself, but he just gets cratered into the ground. And then, as she brings her fist up, it shows Kid getting hit by this. But then, all of a sudden, one of his metal hands grabs onto her on her arm, and then, she's all, "Huh?" And then Kid says, "Repel." And because the metal arm was gripping onto her, sends her flying into the air. Then Kid, and then Law says, "Tact," and then sends a boulder flying straight into Big Mom. And then she says,
"You little fool, what does it matter if you hit me with a..."
And then it shows that the big boulder they used to hit Big Mom goes right off the edge of the Skull Dome.
Huh? What? I forgot! There's nothing but sea below me! Help me, Zeus!
But Zeus can't do anything because he's sealed inside a Kid's metal box. Then Law says, if he can't fly down to help her. And then it shows Zoro, who's coughing up blood now. But it's mainly Law saying if he can't fly down to help her, then that takes care of one of them. Yo! And Big Mom is sent falling from Onigashima. They're still over the ocean. You could see Ringo in the distance from the last chapter, but they're still over the ocean. Prometheus was being cut apart by Zoro, so he can't form enough. Zeus is trapped inside of this metal box that Kid made. And Napoleon, well, she can't use him to fly, ever. So Big Mom is left falling off of Onigashima to the sea below. And that's the end of the chapter, as Big Mom looks with sweat over her face and her eyes all bugged out as she's sent falling from Onigashima towards the ocean below. Next chapter hits April 11th, so we're not going on break from here. We are not going on break from here. All right, chapter is over, ladies and gentlemen. A lot happened. All right, let me just see what you guys have said. Okay. Wow. Okay. So let me just see what you guys have said. Orochi lost his heads. All of them, it would appear. Karma says, hey, is he dead now? No one cares about Orochi. His role in Wano is done. Kind of expected more from him. Zoro fanboy is happy. Dumb but smart move. When is Kid gonna take Kaido's club and Big Mom's sword? Zeus was captured. And no break, yeah. Sanji better do something big to equalize Zoro. One good hit and Zoro is out. I mean, Zoro took the brunt of that Conqueror of the Seas attack from Big Mom and Kaido. And then we have a brand new move from Kaido called Conqueror of the Three Worlds Ragnarok. So does that mean that move is even stronger than his Raime Hake? And if you guys remember, Raime, I'm doing my review now. Raime Hake was enough to completely one-shot Luffy when he was in Gear 4th, and Kaido wasn't even in his hybrid form. Hybrid Kaido uses a brand new move with a lot more strength behind it. I gotta look it up now. I really hope someone put the entries of that attack in here now so I can read the description of it, because I wanna know. I wanna know. Can you show me? Okay, here we go. It's called Konsanze Ragnarok, literally meaning three worlds pulled to Naraku. Kaido jumps high in the air and rapidly spins his Kanabo over his head before slamming it down on his opponent during his descent, smashing the opponent to the ground. It was first used against Luffy during the battle on Onigashima, with the attack being strengthened due to Kaido being in his human beast form. Zoro hasn't even showed his full power and didn't open his eye either. He blocked 2 Yonko's attack. So last chapter, which was the one where Chopper came in clutch and pretty much cured the Ice Oni with his own mist nuke, which he called Chopper Phase Nebulizer. Now we have Zoro coming in with the big clutch W, the big W for this chapter, literally tanking a move that combined the powers of both Big Mom and Kaido, which was essentially a concussive nuke with their strength, especially considering that Kaido was in his human beast form. I'm not going to call it hybrid form anymore. It's human beast form. But Zoro took that. He took that. Should we be surprised? He literally was the only one to survive. He literally tanked, taking all of Luffy's pain from the entirety of Thriller Bark, which I just got the brand new volumes. I just got the new volumes in. I'm going backwards from One Piece. I got all of Impel Down and all of all of Thriller Bark and Sabaody and all those. I got from 55 to 50. So all the pain that Luffy went through on Thriller Bark, Zoro tanked all of that. And now we have Zoro in the time skip tanking a hit from 2 Yonko who are monstrously strong. And sure, it doesn't knock him out. It brings him down, but it doesn't knock him out. And he's left kind of shaken from taking that whole hit there. But let me just continue with here, because there's more descriptions here for the Kosanze Ragnarok. It's called Conqueror of the Three Worlds Ragnarok. I like Kosanze. Kosanze Ragnarok. That sounds better than Conqueror of Three Worlds Ragnarok. I mean, it reads good, but I like how it says Kosanze. But here it says, the first part of the attack name contains the kanji for Trailokia, 3 planes of existence in Buddhism that people can be reborn into after death. The second part contains the kanji for Naraku, an equivalent to hell or purgatory in Buddhism, where those with bad karma are reborn and stay for a very long, though not infinite period. However, the furigana over the kanji for Naraku instead reads Ragnarok, referencing the famous Norse myth about the destruction and rebirth of the world. In the Viz manga, this is called Conqueror of Three Worlds Ragnarok, preserving the wordplay combining Ragnarok and Naraku. So this is a brand new attack from Kaido, which is clearly stronger. Whoa! Hold on! Which is clearly stronger than Raime Hake. And then we have another move called Hakai. Where was the last time we heard a move called Hakai? Hakai. You know, the move that the gods of destruction in Dragon Ball use to just flat out destroy whatever they say in front of them. The move is called Hakai, but it's translated in the Viz manga. It's called Conquest of the Sea. But here, Hakai literally meaning ocean sovereignty, not Ikoku sovereignty, not giant sovereignty, ocean sovereignty. A combined attack performed in tandem with Big Mom. Kaido holds his Kanabo on his right side and swings it across his body to the left, while Big Mom swings Napoleon the same manner in the opposite direction. The combined power of the Emperor's strikes results in a near explosion-like force which travels hundreds of meters forward and devastates anything in its path. It was shown to impact a significant portion of the island of Onigashima. It was first used against the Supernova Quintet of Luffy, Zoro, Law, Kid, and Killer during their battle on Onigashima, with Kaido's contribution to the attack being strengthened due to being in his human beast Zoan form. So even, and in the Viz manga, this is called Conquest of the Sea. So this attack would have already been devastating if Kaido just used it in his normal human form. But with him being in his human beast form, the devastation is greatly increased due to the increased strength of his human beast power. So we have Kosanze Ragnarok and Hakai. Two new attacks from Big Mom and Kaido is with this being shown to be a combined, and this might be the first time we've ever seen Yonkos ever combine their attacks together like this, ever. But this was a great chapter. I got out of my chair 2 times, so this was a great chapter. And Law, Zoro, Kid, Ninja Team dealt with Big Mom. They literally pulled a bait and switch. It was a perfect divide and conquer tactic. Zeus got shambled into Kid's metal box, and Zeus could not get out of it. Then we have Killer taking out Napoleon, and then we have Zoro taking out Prometheus, constantly slicing him with Flame Rend, which actually absorbs the flame and cuts into the flames, literally eliminating a majority of Big Mom's attacks. But even though they took all of her stuff away, Big Mom still has her strength and, just punches Kid straight in the face and bodies him. But before she's able to deliver more coup de grace, she gets, thrown in the air because of a metal arm that Kid created and throws her into the air. Then she gets slammed by a big old boulder by Law and sent tumbling off of Onigashima. I wonder who will save her, either Kaido or a surprise appearance from the Charlotte children, because we have not seen the rest of the Charlotte family since they got re-knocked off of the waterfall leading up to Wano again. I would not be surprised if they just arrived just in time for her to land on the chanter just in time. Because think about it, we know they're there in Wano, or we know they tried to make their way into Wano. It would make perfect sense for them to just show up and catch her, but not join into the fight, though. Or they could join into the fight, but then again, Marco didn't make note of saying that by the time you get back up here, the fate of the new dawn will have happened. A lot of things would have changed by the time you get up here. So maybe it won't be them, but I'm just throwing that out there. I'm seeing people say Kaido is busy with Luffy. Yes, Kaido is busy with Luffy. We don't know what effects Kosanze Ragnarok had on Luffy, on whether it was a truly devastating move to him, because we see Luffy get hit by this, but we don't see his face afterwards. But we do see Zoro scream out for Luffy, but we don't know whether this move was enough to injure him highly. Now, mind you, King would be so random. He kind of would be, because I figure that Marco is contending with both King and Queen. Marco's contending with both of them. So they're kind of preoccupied. If they don't contend with Marco, then Marco would just fly up to the roof and start helping out the rest of the supernovas. Or whoever else needs help. And one thing to note here from when Kaido uses his Kosanze Ragnarok is there's a trail coming off of his Kanabo. I don't know if that's the electricity that builds up from his attack, or if that's just Haki. He imbued it with Haki. And now, mind you, it doesn't say that he actually imbued it with Haki, but there's like an effect coming off, a visual effect coming off of his Kanabo, like a trail, like an electrical trail of energy, black energy, coming off. She could land in Hakumai or Udon depending if they're over Wano. But mind you, she still says they're over the ocean. Now, I did note multiple times that they were closing in on Ringo. Like, they're closing in on one of the regions. You can see the mountains in the distance, but we don't know how fast Onigashima is moving through the air. So they could still be over the ocean. Like, she says that they're over the ocean. So that's the reason why she's worried right now, because they're still over the sea. You can see the mountains in the distance, but they're not within range of any land. So they're still there. They're still over the ocean right now, and that's why Big Mom is crazy worried right now, because, being a devil fruit user, being in the sea is literally your grave if you hit it and you don't have help. But give me a sec. Sorry about that. My door was open. Family came in, closed the door so that way I can keep this focus on here. But a lot happened. And here's the thing. I'm not even going to last too long over the fact that Kinemon run into both Fukuro Kuju and Orochi. They don't even know that he got beheaded by Kai. They don't even know that Orochi was beheaded and he died once before. But Orochi tries to say, like, I'm going to devour every last one of you. He assumes his Yamata no Orochi form, but it doesn't matter because Kinemon and all the rest of them just cut through every single one of his heads, and then just walk past him. Like I said, Orochi has become an irrelevant factor in this entire war and this entire arc now. No one is intimidated by Orochi anymore. Oh, I'm going to devour all of you. Ching, 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 ching. We don't have time to waste on the likes of you. And then Raizo stays behind to face off against Fukuro Kuju, which means that only Denjiro, Kikunojo, Izo, Kinemon, and Kawamatsu, along with Nekomamushi, are the only ones who are left now. Am I right? Yes, Izo, Kikunojo, Kinemon, Denjiro, Raizo, and Nekomamushi is there as well. Yeah. Because Inuarashi stayed behind, and then I think Orochi had one. I think Orochi has one head left now. Let me see Orochi. Let me look up Orochi. I keep seeing. Here's the thing. I keep seeing the Hiyori's name brought up like she's gonna be on Onigashima. All of a sudden, I don't know how. I mean, it'll be a very big long shot if Hiyori is on Onigashima right now. But I just don't see it. I don't see any reason why Hiyori would be there. I can't see it. I can't see any reason why Hiyori would be there. But let me see. Gotta get rid of this bottle of water. I drank a little bit of it earlier. But let me look up Orochi. I'm just guessing. Orochi. Let me look up Kurozumi Orochi and see what its status is. Status still says unknown. Status is unknown. It still doesn't say any unique abilities of his Hebi no Mi model Yamata no Orochi. It just says that he has multiple heads, a boost in his physical capabilities. She must do something too, after all, she's Odin's daughter. Sure, But I still don't see what reason Hiyori would have to be on Onigashima. If she's just there to show up and just be there like, I have to be here in order to see Orochi fall or Kaido fall. If she's just there to show up just for the sake of, I have to watch all this go down, I mean, would it really? She's got to have a role in this story. I mean, she's had a role in this story. She was there to show that she's still alive, and not only that, but she also was the one who gifted one of her swords, Enma, to Zoro. So I see that as a pretty good role. I feel like she doesn't need to be on Onigashima in order for her to have, lasting impact on this arc. I just personally don't feel like it would be good for her to be there. That's just how I feel about it. I mean, Tama, she's got a reason. I pretty much predicted this last year. But that's Tama though. She has a definitive advantage over a lot of the beast pirates that are there on Onigashima right now, due to her own devil fruit ability that allows her to command anyone with animal powers. She literally has an advantage being over there on Onigashima, but Hiyori, not so much. We know nothing of her fighting capabilities, if she has any, or whether she has anything to offer going there. An important role. You say that, Kohagen. You say that, but I don't see it. I don't see it. If it happens and Hiyori ends up being on Onigashima, I will concede. But as of right now, I can't see any particular reason why she would make her way onto the island where, tons of fighting has been happening, and pretty much everyone has gotten into a massive scuffle, and destruction has just been happening literally everywhere. Because then other people will have to worry about her, and that would put them at risk if they have to worry about her safety all the time. That's just how I feel about it. But should she show up on Onigashima for any reason, hey, it is what it is. That's all I can say on it. But overall, this was a great chapter. I'm not going to dwell too long on it, any more than I already have. I apologize for that. But overall, this was a great chapter. I enjoyed it. Seeing Orochi get cut down again is not a surprise. It was not a surprise. It's so inconsequential how he tried to show up and show out and then got shut down. So that went on. Then we see even more power from these Yonko. Like, I knew for a fact that we have not seen all that there was to see from Kaido and Big Mom in terms of their strength. And I knew Kaido was going to come back with a new attack to show off his even more powerful human beast form and show you that what we've seen of Kaido, yeah, he only breaks out the human beast form when he's actually having fun. If you are not making Kaido have fun, you will only get either his beast form or his regular human form. Hybrid form is only for those who have actually piqued his interest to that degree. So, Konsanze Ragnarok. Stronger than Thunder Bagua. Stronger than Raime Hake. What effect it has on Luffy's body remains to be seen. Uh-oh, it dropped some frames there. Apologies. It dropped some frames there. Let me go ahead and conclude this real quick so that way I can do my Hero Academia, and then we'll conclude it for today. But overall, I enjoyed it. I really did. And now, and the thing is, I figured that this would be like some sort of break chapter. Seeing Big Mom getting thrown off of Onigashima to the ocean below, I would have figured that this would be like a type of chapter that we would go on break for. But it's not. We're getting another chapter. 10,010. Well, not 10,010. 1,010. Chapter 1,010 next week. So, yeah. I don't know where the thing is. I don't know where we're going to go in from here, though. But seeing as how we focused on the Yonko a little bit more in this chapter, I wouldn't be surprised if we focus on the Tobiropo and the Straw Hats now. We have to. Like I said, before we see Big Mom and Kaido get beaten, we need to see the Straw Hats succeed over the Tobiropo, and we need to see all the big names need to be taken out before we see Big Mom and Kaido get beaten. Tobiropo, the headline, and the All-Stars, we need to see all of them get beaten before we see Kaido and Big Mom officially get beaten. That's how it has to work. It has to work this way. But that's all I got. This was a 10 out of 10 chapter for me. It may be different from some people, but this is just based on my own criteria, and I enjoyed it immensely. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you all for coming out to see me today with my reaction to One Piece. I enjoy doing these, and I enjoy entertaining you guys. This is a true honor for me to use my talents and gifts for the benefits and entertainment for basically everyone who comes across what I do here on this channel. Yeah, I appreciate you. So with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. And if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed what you saw here today, then consider subscribing because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day. And once again, as always, later, peoples!